Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm Octopus and today we're gonna take a look at the Udaloy, the Soviet destroyer at tier 9, the line that leads to the Grozovoi. But first thing first, guys, as always, I'm trying to grow up as a YouTuber on YouTube, of course. And if you can help me out by leaving a sub on my channel, I will greatly appreciate this. Also, if you want to leave a comment and a thumbs up on this video, I will be more than happy. I'm sorry if you hear me a little bit down with my voice. I have a little bit of a sore throat, so my voice is kind of abandoning me at this moment. So sorry in advance. So Udaloy. Udaloy is a ship that I've been playing quite a lot recently because I am grinding. I'm still grinding for the Grozovoi, one of the few tier 10 silver ships that I'm actually missing. So yeah, Udaloi is a ship that I'm enjoying playing. It can reach out to up to 7.2 kilometers of maximum concealment with the full concealment build, which is pretty garbage. It's a pretty bad value. 7.2 is absolutely trash. Speed is very good at 42 knots with speed flag. You can even you do have access to the speed boost, normal speed boost, so you can reach out a quite good speed in this sense. As you can see, Udaloi, as I said, my voice is abandoning me. I was saying that Udaloi has plenty of consumables available. You have smoke, you have speed boost, you have heal, and you have defensive AA. So in this sense, Udaloi is a very polyhedric ship in this sense. Your main gun range, when fully researched, is 12.1 kilometers. You can enhance this range with AFT, the captain skill. As you can see, we already have this Friedrich der Gross in our main gun range, and we're gonna happily shoot at her. How do you play Udaloi? I found out that playing Udaloi as a gunboat is much more effective than playing Udaloi as a torpedo boat. Yes, you have decent torpedoes in the sense that you have 3 X5 launchers. You have one central and one torpedo launcher per side, so you can launch 10 torpedoes from one side, turn around and launch other 5 torpedoes. The default torpedoes are 8 kilometers of range. You can upgrade the torpedoes to 10 kilometers, so this gives you plenty of more flexibility in the use of the torpedoes. In this specific replay, I think I still had the default 8 km torpedoes because I was still grinding the ship basically. So these are not the upgraded torpedoes that you will see me using into this game, but still, also 8 km torpedoes can be somewhat effective in specific situations. Your main gun reload time is 5 seconds. You can cut down this value to 4.4 with the DPM upgrade, let's say, in the last slot. You can cut it down even further by taking BFT, but I'm not actually speccing for BFT on this specific captain. You might to maximize your DPM to the very extreme, but I don't think this is actually a valuable choice, and we are gonna talk about this later. Your fire chance on your guns is 8% by default without even taking Demolition Expert or any flag. So if you spec for Demolition Expert, 8% is with fire. 8% is base. So you can go to 9% with speed with fire flags, and you can even go to 11% with Demolition Expert. So if you spec for full fire starting build, you can reach an insane 11% fire chance on your guns, on your shells, which is extremely good. Of course, considering that you have 900 meters per second of initial shell velocity, it means that you can absolutely land your shells consistently on targets even at range. Absolutely, you don't have the flat the arcs of the US destroyers or something, or like Harugumo 100 millimeters guns. So absolutely, as you can see, we can consistently land shells on these targets that are in 12, 13 kilometers away from us. This is why I spec for AFT, because I know that these 130s guns have a decent velocity, so absolutely it is not that hard to actually land multiple shells and start fires. What you see me doing here is focusing battleships. Battleships are, in my opinion, your best target, in the sense that they are slower, they are the slowest target usually. You have the clumsiest ships in the game, and absolutely they are the targets that can give you the biggest amount of actual damage. So I find Udaloy to be an excellent destroyer when it comes to farm battleships, but of course if you play in divisions and you have another destroyer supporting you, a low concealment destroyer, for example a Yugumo, or I don't know, even Kitakaze or a Z46, whatever you want, a destroyer that is actually capable of spotting the enemy, some enemy destroyers somehow, Yugumo with its concealment and Z46 with the Hydro, you are an excellent support the destroyer, because you have a decent firepower, you have sustainability in the sense that you have the heals. As you can see here, we can use our heal to sustain and to heal the incoming damage. This Shiratsuyu, he thinks that he has some kind of edge on us, because he has some support, but absolutely don't engage in a gun duel with an Udaloi in a Shiratsuyu. Absolutely not recommended. Shiratsuyu, even if it's part of the IGN gunboat line, it is definitely not a decent gunboat. Absolutely, it is more of a torpedo boat. So absolutely don't do what this Shiratsuyu is doing. As you can see, we dodged a couple of his salvos and we almost deleted him. So absolutely don't do this. Don't be that guy. Udaloi has these torpedoes that are 60 knots without the torpedo upgrade, let's say, by default. But the upgraded torpedoes are, the default 8 km torpedoes are faster than the 10 km, but of course having 2 kilometers or more range, it is absolutely a big plus. But as I said, it is not too big of a downside to actually play Udaloi, even when it is not fully researched, because I find that the main strength of the Udaloi are actually the guns, not the torpedoes. So I didn't use any of my smokes yet. As you can see, we have only 3 smokes and 3 heals with Superintendent. So without it, you have only 2. So speccing into Superintendent, in my opinion, is almost mandatory on Udaloi. Here I'm charging the Shiratsuyu because I know that he's low HP and I want to actually catch him. I'm faster than the Shiratsuyu thanks to my speed boost and the speed flag. So we know that if he sails straight towards his last known position, we might be able to catch him. Shiratsuyu has by far a better concealment than we have. It has 5.8 kilometers. Sorry about that. As I was saying, Shiratsuyu has 5.8 concealment. We caught him with our good speed, and we are now able to actually kill him, hopefully, in a reasonable amount of time. We start a fire, and we are gonna kill this Shiratsuyu. As you can see, he's trying to avoid our shells, but by doing this, he's also slowing down, and he's now dead. So now that we freed this flank from the destroyer, we are able to start again what we were doing before, which is basically farming battleships with our guns. This is also kind of the perfect matchmaking for us. We are top tiered and there are no carriers. Of course, Udaloi, as all destroyers, suffers from the carriers presence. So if you are facing carriers, this kind of playstyle and gameplay that you see me doing here, which is basically flanking and harassing battleships from medium to long range, it is going to be much more difficult to put into the game, because If you isolate yourself, you're gonna be targeted by the enemy planes, absolutely guaranteed. You do have your defensive AA consumable, but absolutely do not count on this consumable to actually be that effective. So absolutely try to avoid planes as much as you can. Here we are starting fires left, right and center on Monarch, on this Amagi. As you can see here, we still have 8 km torpedoes, but we are gonna try to make them into use on this Amagi regardless. We are radared by the enemy Tallinn. We scored the Wither achievement on the way. Tallinn radar is short duration, plus Tallinn HE DPM is quite poor, so I'm not too much scared about the enemy Tallinn. As you saw, I didn't use any of my smokes yet. I tend to use Udaloy in open water gunboating as a Khabarovsk, even if it's much more than a, let's say, a Khabarovsk, in the sense that unlike Tashkent, that has to choose the tier 9 destroyer, that has to choose between smoke and heal, Udaloi has access to both of them. As you can see, we landed 3 torpedoes on the enemy Amagi, and this is our Confederate achievement as well. So absolutely, Udaloi torpedoes can be put into use, even if you don't research the 10 km torpedoes. Absolutely. Here we are working on this Tallinn that goes down from Skåne torpedoes. Amagi has repaired the double flooding, so we are gonna try to start some more fires, additional fires on the Amagi. And the game is still undecided, honestly. As you can see, we are 6 against 5. This Amagi is about to die, I think, so we will still have a decent advantage. But they still have a Mogador that we don't actually know where he is. So this game is not won yet by any means. So we still have to work to actually secure the victory for our team. And Udaloi, surprisingly enough to me, has turned out to be a very, very decent ship to actually carry those games, especially if you are top tier, as in this game. So absolutely don't underestimate the Udaloi carry potential as a destroyer. Not only to eliminate the enemy destroyers, but even to harass battleships. It is a quite frustrating ship to play, because unlike Khabarovsk that suffers from, let's say, the old interaction with BB AP shells, Udaloi doesn't have this feature, let's say. So, like Kitakaze and Harugumo. Harugumo is the other tier 10 destroyer that suffers from full AP penetrations from battleships instead of the normal overpens. So, and this is why usually a lot of people like to use Kitakaze that has the similar firepower but doesn't suffer from this huge downside of eating full AP penetrations. This is the same deal between Udaloi and sorry, not Udaloi, but okay, Udaloi would lead to Grozovoi, but still Udaloi doesn't lead to Udaloi doesn't suffer from this feature, so you can happily gunboat in the open enemy BBs, and unless they switch to HE, their AP are not gonna hurt you that much, at least. Okay, so in this sense, we are now 5 against 3. We are happily farming this Monarch. We know that there is a Cleveland, a low HP Cleveland inside their base cap, so nothing that is really too scary for us. We are racking up a quite impressive 180k damage. We are on our way for this value. We are radared by the enemy Cleveland. A thing that I didn't mention so far are Udaloy AP. As you can see here, we are switching to AP because if someone is giving you full flat broadside at medium to close range, AP on Udaloy are not to be underestimated, because the penetration and the alpha on these guns, it is quite scary, especially if you are facing light cruisers at close range. Absolutely, if they are giving you broadside, go with AP and you are gonna citadel them. No issues there. So absolutely, Udaloy is a quite all-round ship in this sense. We spot the enemy Mogador that is actually reversing in classic French fashion, I would say. This is just a bad joke. Sorry about that. But yeah, this Mogador has been reversing from the entirety of this match for some reasons that I don't understand. I'm not sure what he was thinking here, but whatever. I'm not gonna question that much. And this is the Mogador dead. And now there's only this Monarch left, and we are happily farming her again. So absolutely, Udaloy is a fun ship to play. If you like to play destroyers like little roaming HE spamming cruisers, Udaloy is one of the best ships to do this kind of stuff at tier 9 at least. So we're gonna see the ending of this battle. So these are the final results of this battle. 195k damage, 2 kills, 17 fires, Confederate, Wither and High Caliber. So very decent amount of damage in the end. 2.1k base experience. This is a kind of a low value, but we were top tier, so we farmed a lot of lower tier ships and especially BBs. So fire damage, it is not that valuable as, I don't know, citadel damage or whatever. We fought Shiratsuyu and the Mogador, but still we didn't cap any cap, so base experience is a little bit underwhelming considering the real amount of damage and the carry that we pulled off in this match, but whatever. As you can see, 88k damage came from our HE and almost 80k from our fires, so absolutely Udaloy is an HE focused destroyer. But as I said, do not underestimate AP at medium to close range. Absolutely do not underestimate this feature of the Udaloy. As you can see, we farmed mainly battleships. We dealt the vast majority of our damage to battleships, but also a little bit of damage to that Shiratsuyu and the Mogador as well. So we did our job in this game. Credit wise, nothing special to mention here. I was grinding the Grozovoi. This is why you see this amount of credits, but usually tier 9 destroyers, the silver ships, do not give you that much of a income. So this is our Udaloy. Let's start with the equipments and the modules. So here you have plenty of stuff to actually research. I think that the first thing that you have to actually research, I don't know actually, but I think it's the range, because your default range is 11 kilometers, which is not really good. So going from 11 kilometers to 12.1, absolutely it is mandatory in my opinion, as well as the B hull, because the B hull gives you more HP, maneuverability, AA, and what says better concealment for some reasons I do not understand. Oh, you have better concealment with the A hull than the B hull apparently. Very interesting. But as you can see, you have 3x3 torpedoes of 10 kilometers with the A hull, and when you go to the B hull, you go to 3x5, but you lose a little bit of concealment. So a very weird thing here, but it is like that. So I think still that B hull is it is worth it, absolutely. So go for the B hull ASAP for more HP. And finally, the torpedoes. Yeah, these are the default 8-kilometer torpedoes, 66 knots. These 10 km torpedoes are slower, 60 knots, but they have 2 kilometers of more range. And considering that you have garbage concealment, it is absolutely worth it to go for these torpedoes. But as we said, your main tool are the guns, not the torpedoes, so these are not that mandatory to actually research. Absolutely. So that said, consumables, you don't need to choose anything, just yeah, you don't need to choose anything here. So upgrades, I go for turrets and torpedo tubes survival, absolutely. Then you should go for engine boost modification 1. If you don't have this call upgrade, go for engine room protection, I would say. Here, I personally go for main battery modification 2, because Udaloy turret traverse is not great, absolutely. I mean, not great, it is quite good at 9 seconds, but still, I don't find any value into specing for torpedoes, because as I said, I don't use torpedoes that much on Udaloy. But if you want, you can absolutely go for this thing. Udaloy is not a bad torpedo boat, I would say, but I mean, the range of the torpedoes is quite limited Plus, it is not that easy. I mean, you don't want to go on flanks and torp from stealth into Udaloy. I mean, you can do that, but it is not your main role, in my opinion, at least. So I find more value for specking into main battery modification 2. But of course, if you want, you can go for torpedo tubes modification 1 to have some more speed on the torpedoes. By taking this, you go from 60 to 63 knots, which is a good addition, but as I said, not that good in my opinion. So I'm gonna stick with the turret reverse. Here I go for propulsion. Udaloy is a little bit of a clumsy ship in the sense that the turn cycle radius is not great. Your rudder shift time is decent, so you don't benefit that much into steering gears modification 1. So when you are inside your smoke farming, you want to be able to accelerate in a faster way to try to at least try to avoid torpedoes coming into your smoke. So absolutely, propulsion modification 1 is by far my recommended upgrade in this slot. Here I go for concealment modification 1 because your concealment is quite garbage and you don't want to have an insanely high concealment. There is the option to go for steering gears modification 2 for the absolute memes if you want to be that very dodgy ship at range, but I don't think the Udaloy will benefit that much from this upgrade here. Finally, I go for more DPM. You don't get to slot the range upgrade here, so plus specking into torpedoes on Udaloy, it's quite a waste in my opinion, so I absolutely recommend going for gun DPM. Captain wise, as you see, I'm not running a 19-point captain yet because as I said, I'm still grinding the Udaloy for the Grozovoi. So my build, the build that I'm actually using is priority target, last stand, superintendent I would say, concealment expert, then BFT, survivability expert, and the final 2 points I would say I will go for jack of all trades. Since you have plenty of consumables, we are gonna benefit pretty much from this captain skill. Of course, if you want to play Grozovoi in a different way, you can absolutely don't take AFT, but we are gonna be stuck with the 12.1 kilometers of main gun range and spec into, I don't know, if you play with another destroyer in divisions, you can spec into RPF to have a better idea of where is the enemy destroyer. You can even spec into BFT to have even more GPM, to go from 4.4 seconds to 4 seconds. Okay, so BFT is it is an option, absolutely. You can even spec into demolition expert. You can spec into, I mean, torpedo to armament expertise. I say it is a little bit too much because, as I said, torpedoes are not that good on Udaloy, but if you really want, you can go for it. So you have some options here. I mean, I'm also fancying about Adrenaline Rush. I mean, Adrenaline Rush might be even more valuable than Jack of all trades with the last 2 points. So maybe I will spec into Adrenaline Rush. I will have to see. But yeah, Udaloy has some kind of flexibility in the captain skill choices. So this is the set of skills that I'm using, and it is quite good until now, in my opinion. As you can see, let me just show you the amount of battles I played in the Udaloy so far, just to give you an idea. Come on game, you can do it. Let's go to the Udaloy. Okay, I played 10 battles so far with this build. 70% win rate solo, okay, mainly I think, and almost 100k damage average. So absolutely, it is working. This build is actually working for my playstyle. Okay, so this doesn't mean that it is the best build ever. Absolutely. So if this build doesn't fit your playstyle, you can absolutely change it. So as I always say, the build that I'm recommending might not be the very best build in general. Okay, so always make up your own ideas on the build for specific ships. That said, flags, very standard, nothing here, nothing really special to say here. Detonation flag, absolutely recommended. I mean, almost mandatory on destroyers. Heal flag, because we do have the heal consumable. Better speed, faster reload of consumables, fire and fire flags. Okay, so with this we reach 9% fire chance, which is absolutely not bad on a ship that reloads in 4.4 seconds and can land shells in a very consistent way thanks to the shell speed. Absolutely. Then I also go for AA flag, because we have the AA consumable, even if our AA is very questionable, like on the vast majority of the destroyers and all the ships in the game so far. So the firing range of the AA is decent, but the continuous damage is not that decent. So AA on Udaloy is nothing really scary. Then I'm also running with grinding flags, let's say, but this is only for grinding. So when you have these flags, you're more than okay. Okay, so I think this is it for the Udaloy, guys. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. If you did, leave a thumbs up and a comment down below if you have some specific questions. Remember to subscribe to the channel in order to support me, and if you want to help me out growing on YouTube. I will leave you in the description of the video the links to the Discord and to my Twitch channel when I stream World of Warships on a daily basis on average. So if you want to hop in and say hello, you're more than welcome. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.